Welcome to None Dare Call It Ordinary, the podcast that digs into the unusual, unorthodox, and downright unsettling beliefs found at the depths of the internet and the heights of paranoia. I'm your host, Dylan, and with me is the wonderful Brent.
Hello.
That's it?
That's it.
All right,
That's my first word.
I already gave you your name, so I guess that's all we need to do. So, for our very first episode, we decided to celebrate Easter, which was just a few days ago, by covering the book of Revelation, easily the most unusual book of the New Testament, placing it high in the running for most unusual religious text of all time. And if I remember right, Brent, you have some personal memories of the book of Revelation that really warmed your heart as a child.
Yeah, I did, Dylan. Thanks for asking. I was pretty much exposed to a lot of this stuff, a lot of these crazy 70s movies, like the original Left Behind series, but back then it was called Thief in the Night. When I was a child, I'm in a Awana class. It's called Awanas. Don't ask what that stands for.
Awanas.
And approved workmans are not ashamed.
That's not real.
It's not.
That's not. You just made that up.
Yeah. So anyway, that's I had a lot of this growing up. So good times. If anyone wants to follow along in their Bible, you can, or just go to hell. If not, it's fine.
Or Valhalla. You might be into Valhalla. My bird Das is talking. She seems really into the idea of going straight to hell, though.
That's always good. Yep.
So some of you might prefer that. Yeah, I'm not sure if she has a soul, but
it's extremely tiny.
Maybe we'll figure that out by the time we're done with the series. So the book of Revelation starts with John. John is on the island of Patmos, and he has his vision. Patmos is an island off the west coast of Turkey. And it says he was in the spirit, a state of prophetic ecstasy, or altered consciousness, on the Lord's Day, Sunday. So John was tripping on Sunday instead of going to church, like I used to do.
And I just went to church, basically.
That's boring.
I know.
When all of a sudden from behind him, he hears this trumpet voice telling him that he needs to share this vision that he's having with the 7 churches of Asia. And Asia was a lot smaller back then. It was basically just the western third of Turkey. And the churches were Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, not that one.
Oh.
No, not that one. And Laodicea. And by the way, everybody sounds like a trumpet in heaven, from what I could tell. And so he turns around, and in front of him is the Son of Man. The Son of Man has a whole coterie around him. He's got 7 lampstands. He's got 7 stars in his right hand, a long robe with a golden sash. His hair is as white wool, which is helpful, or snow, which is more helpful. Eyes like flames of fire, feet like burnished bronze, a voice like many waters, and then a double-edged sword comes out of his mouth, and his face is shining like the sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just another day.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty good. It's a good entrance.
Yes.
Yeah.
David Lynch should be the one. David Lynch really needs to do a movie with Revelation.
It would be so good.
Good.
And he could just do it straight. It would just be like, this is
literal. Yep.
And this is just peak David Lynch, but it's literally the most by-the-book movie he would ever do. And so John falls dead on his feet when he sees the Son of Man in front of him, which is appropriate.
Yes.
The Son of Man wants to know why he's scared, and then he tells him he's the first and the last.
Right. That's great. That's everything, covering the bases there.
Yeah, first and the last. Not much, He's not everything in between, though. He's just the end goals.
Right. Just the end. Yeah, not the middle ground. None of that.
Yeah, no. And then God tells him, or Jesus tells him, to write what he has seen. The 7 stars that he has in his hand are the angels of those 7 Asian churches, and the 7 lampstands are the churches. And I think we were talking about this earlier. I don't really know what a lampstand is.
Yeah, I don't either. I just figured a lamp is a lampstand. I'm very confused by this.
Yeah, it's not like the table the lamp would be on.
Right, that's more of an end table.
Yeah, but they also don't have light bulbs back then, so maybe they're talking different. I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. So what does John have to write? Well, Jesus at this point goes into his district manager of New Jerusalem act. And he's got a lot to say about these 7 churches. Some are doing good, some not so good. We're going to start with Ephesius, which apparently, Jesus recognized the work, how they've been working hard, and they haven't fainted while working.
And that's good. Yeah, you don't want to faint while laboring for no reason.
Yeah, it's a bad time. And he's also really happy. He hates these guys, the Nicolaitans. He really... Yeah, exactly. It's not clear who they are. I tried doing some research. No one really knows who these folks were. And it's thought that maybe that they permitted local religious practices. So they were tolerant dudes. Yeah. Yeah, and Jesus isn't having any of that.
Yeah, so lots of emphasis on the importance of candlesticks. That's always good.
Yeah, he warns them he's going to take their candlesticks away.
Oh,
which
God.
Is,
horrible.
Yeah, a little rough. And then he says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
Okay, so the deaf are off the hook here. All right.
Yeah, the deaf, it's going to be a theme. The deaf don't have to do anything. So next is Smyrna, and Jesus is well aware Smyrna's been getting a lot of slander from people pretending to be Jews.
Yeah, there's no one that likes a bragging Jew, right?
Yeah, especially when they're fake Jews. I mean, that's just awful.
Yep. I mean, but Synagogue of Satan is a pretty good, metal band name.
Yeah, that is pretty rockin'. You're going to have a good night when you go to see Synagogue of Satan. And Jesus, he informs them about some things they may not have known about. For example, they're about to go to jail and suffer affliction for 10 days. Honestly, I think he could have been a bit more specific, about to go to jail. He just says affliction. Are they going to get, toe jam, a rug burn, beaten half to death? It's very unclear.
Yeah. The scale is, it's out of control. So dead people get crowns of life, in quotes. That makes perfect sense, but most of this does so far. So the deaf, again, are missing a lot of crucial information. So you will not be hurt in the second death, we are assured here. I don't know about the third or fourth deaths, though.
I think those are for the deaf.
Right.
I think right now this is like second death territory.
Yeah.
And then he'll fill them in, hopefully in writing, maybe Braille.
Right.
Well, no, they're deaf. They don't need Braille.
That's true.
I'm dumb. I think I get covered in the fifth death. I'm like way out there. Like that's the only point where I'll be able to understand what's going on here. So the third church that Jesus has something to say about is Pergamum. He says they're holding strong despite living next to Satan's throne.
Oh! I'm picturing some sort of like Iron Throne from Game of Thrones or something, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bunch of candlesticks welded together.
Yeah, yep.
Which would, that would fit.
Or lampstands or something.
Yeah, or lampstands. I don't know the difference at this point.
No, we'll never know, probably.
And not as intense, I think, as the swords. But,
Yeah. So apparently it was also where his good martyr buddy, was it Anapis, was murdered for no reason.
I don't know how to pronounce any of these words.
I don't either, and I'm probably going to keep trying.
Yeah, as long as we try. I think that's the important thing. We're trying. We're not biffing this on purpose. We're going for it. I think I read that as reading the same. I pronounce it the same as antipasta, just without that final ta. That's what I thought. So antipasta.
Antipasta, yeah.
That's actually where antipasta comes from.
Yes.
Is antipas. Little known fact.
Okay, I'm going to quote straight from the Bible here. It says, I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them hold the doctrine of Balaam. Is that how that's... I think we should... It's not... Is that how that's supposed to sound? No.
Balaam?
Balaam.
I imagine that would be a good name for like a bail bondsman. Balaam!
Yeah. Hey, Balaam.
That would be the catchphrase. And once more, they got some Nicolaitan fans here. Which Jesus is very upset about. Yeah, God. Nicolaitans.
Hates them.
They would just let everybody eat sacrificed food.
Yeah.
Like, if we let them in, there'd be a sacrificial lamb on every corner.
Yep.
It would be chaos.
Oh, God. Probably smell pretty good, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about sacrificed food.
Right.
Although I'm not sure what food they're sacrificing, so, it depends. And so speaking of Nicolaitan and the sacrificed food, Jesus lets these folks know that if they don't stop eating the Zeus food and banging outsiders, he's going to make war against them with the sword of his mouth.
Oh.
which is either real badass or just a metaphor for a tongue lashing, which really isn't all that intense.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yep. If you overcome this bullshit, you'll be given some bread, basically. Wow, what a deal, right?
Well, that's good. I mean, they can't
Just
eat
bread.
the sacrificed food,
That's
so they're
true.
probably pretty
So
hungry.
at least pretty starving, actually. But wait, it's not over, though. You'll also receive a white stone.
Ooh.
But not any old white stone, like it's a stone that has a hidden name on it, so thanks.
So, like, inside of it?
I don't know.
Maybe like invisible ink?
Yes, that's what I'm guessing.
You say abracadabra and you can read it? That would be cool.
Yep.
All right, next we have Thyatira. Again, I don't know how to pronounce any of these church names. And these folks are down with this lady named Jezebel, her message to the people seems that they should bone a lot and eat a lot of the sacrifice stuff. That's her agenda.
Yeah, if I ever have a daughter, I might name her Jezebel. Why not? Just my family would love that, probably.
Oh, God, I can imagine. Lilith and Jezebel? Twins?
Yep.
Oh, man. Wonder what Jezebel's life would be like if you had a daughter named Jezebel.
I don't know. She'd probably end up calling herself a prophetess, seducing and tempting servants to commit fornication and eating things sacrificed to idols.
Oh, God. The apple does not fall far from the biblical harlot. I think that's how that goes.
I think that's exactly the statement that is people use a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's going to happen to Jezebel? Well, she's going to get thrown into a bed, which seems to be what she's into anyway. And then all the tolerators are going to get thrown into a great distress.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, it's kind of
very unclear.
Very like 50 Shades or something. I don't know.
God, we can't kink shame on here. We can't do that. I will not allow it on this podcast.
Off to a good start. First one.
So after the tolerators are thrown into great distress, he'll kill their children with death.
Oh, the best type of killing. Really the only type, I think. Yeah. That seems fair.
Yeah, So now the fifth church we have is Sardis. And God says that if they don't repent, he will come on thee as a thief.
Wow, okay. That's where the 70s Rapture films get their name, I think, is from this.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Because it's Thief in the Night, right? That's the name of the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I know I've heard a lot of, apologetics. What's those people, like William Lane Craig and stuff, like the uncaused cause, the first and last, the creator of all things. It's like a thief. All right.
Yeah, when I think of, omnipotent,
yeah.
all-knowing,
behind the
all-good,
Big Bang. Yep.
Uncaused. A thief?
Got it.
Yeah, that sounds right. The one good thing about the Sardisians, I'm going to go with Sardisians, is...
Sardinians, by the way.
Oh, Sardinians? Oh, that does sound better. Well, I'm going to still go with Sardisians.
Yeah,
the good thing about them is they don't have any dirty clothes on.
No.
That's a good thing.
Yep. Yeah, because God hates dirty clothes.
Oh,
is that
Lord.
a fucking stain? You are out. Go to Satan's town and sit on the hot seat. But I think that passage was actually cut out of the original text. I don't know. But
yeah, I think we don't want God running a laundromat. That's not his function. Just talk about the dirty clothes and move on.
Yes. You get into heaven and your name is called out to God by God. By God? Yeah, I don't know. Basically, you're on the guest list if you have clean white robes. Very fancy.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yep.
I imagine God writing the guest list and then giving it to himself in his right hand. That's kind of what this reminds me of.
That's very strange.
So the next church we've got Philly. Go Eagles.
Woo.
Again, not that one.
Oh god. All right, never mind.
That would be a much bigger map.
So he has the key of David, whatever that means. Well, maybe in the series finale we'll find out. I'm not sure. It's apparently a useless key because in preceding verses he states that he already had the door left open for the angel to pass through.
But it's always good. It just feels good to have the keys. Even though your house is open.
Security thing. Yep.
Yeah, security. And so what does Jesus want from Philly? He wants them to do a lot of conquering.
Yes.
By the way, I'm looking at the holier-than-thou ones who hate on the Quran.
Yeah.
Because apparently the Quran is way more violent. Just think about people who say that when you read this whole thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I just keep that in the back of your head. Maybe let's revise that position.
Yeah, let's please.
Yeah.
And so if they do, they get a random pillar with God's name written on it in the New Jerusalem, which I think you call NJ.
I think I did.
Yes, good. Thank God. I was like, New Jersey? New Jersey? No. Same thing, basically. Which will come down from the heaven to earth. So that's cool.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Although I wish I could pull this, like, get like custom-made gifts for people, but have my name on it. Look, what would Jesus do?
Right.
This is what he would do.
Yes.
That's what it says in here. Or I'll just go to their house and carve my name on their wall.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Got to autograph everything. And I will write my name upon him with my new name. That's the quote. So apparently God will be signing autographs on people's bodies. That's normal.
So it's kind of like when rock stars like sign women's...
Yeah, like tits.
Like butts or their tits, yeah.
Yeah. Butts?
Butts, yeah. I've seen that.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. I want to see that. I'm going to look that up later.
I'm pretty sure if you look off autographed butts, there will be plenty of images
that's true.
For you to enjoy.
I'll do that after we get done here.
Okay.
So deaf people can go ahead and skip again in verse 13. Doesn't apply to them.
Again, wait, you've got the third and fourth death coming. Wait your turn. All right, now we got the last church, Laodicea, and the big problem with these Laodiceans, again, that's my chosen word for that, is they're being lukewarm. And, they're not hot, they're not cold, they're lukewarm. And if they keep this act up, Jesus is going to spit them out.
Yes. Don't be lukewarm. I remember this growing up in church, that passage. It was like, don't be lukewarm. Like, okay. So God apparently prefers cold, dead faith Christians over lukewarm ones that are faithful and obedient sometimes, but occasionally are not. That makes sense.
Yeah, you
so
want
go
all
big
the
or
way.
go home.
Yeah, be a Jezebel or be a Job. I don't know.
Yes. Also didn't realize God was eating Christians. Very odd. I mean, I know Christians eat God's flesh and blood during communion, but didn't realize it went both ways. It's like a feedback loop situation going on.
Yeah, it seems weirder when it goes both ways. I just imagine like eating out of like we just watched The Simpsons where Itchy and Scratchy, I can't remember which one's which, but the mouse opens up the cat's stomach and then feeds it to him. And so he's eating the stomach and then it comes back out and he eats it again. That's about the Book of Revelations.
That's horribly disturbing.
Yeah. And so I imagine like Jesus going to Starbucks and being really annoying. Like, could you tell the barista I want this hot or cold? I keep getting these lukewarm white chocolate mochas, soy milk frappuccinos, and I'm getting real upset about it. And the one thing about these Laodiceans is that they don't realize that they are wretched, pitiable, poor, blind, and naked. And I would imagine you would recognize you're at least not one of those things.
True.
I know people who don't know that they're wretched. I know many.
Yeah.
But especially the poor, blind, and naked. Like, you gotta get at least one.
Right.
I imagine like a dream where you wake up in your high school, and like, oh, I'm naked. But you didn't recognize you were poor. I could see one or the other. And
notice they didn't say deaf, so that's
And so what are these folks who are poor, blind, naked, wretched, and pitiable and don't know it? What does he want them to do? He wants them to buy his gold. So it sounds like a gold scam. So Jesus was the Ron Paul of his time, basically. Cash for gold.
Yep. Everyone is invited that overcomes random shit to climb up to Daddy, Son, Jesus' lap in the throne. It actually says the word "in the throne," so that's some 4D chess kind of thing.
It's like Santa.
Weird. Yeah, it really is.
It's like we're going to the mall.
I'm picturing like an extremely crowded throne situation with God, Jesus, and literally anyone who overcomes an unspecified amount of random problems in life.
Like, hey, I cut my toe.
Hey, get inside this
throne. I want in the throne.
That's
so basically every Christmas when you go to the mall.
Yeah.
And there's just yelling parents and children.
That's heaven. That's heaven.
Just barely hungover Santa.
Yeah.
That's heaven.
It is like extremely loud. Everyone's on top of. Yeah, it's just that sounds great.
And with the tongue lashing of Laodicea, thus commences Jesus, district manager of the New Jerusalem.
Finally.
So if Jesus and his district manager act wasn't big enough, a big ass door opens in heaven. So this should be great. This should be fun.
Yeah. So this is the door that the key of David opened, I guess? I don't know. Who cares, actually?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. We'll find out.
Maybe it is. Well,
I hope.
maybe not. Yeah. First voice John hears sounds like a trumpet, so basically any adult in Charlie Brown cartoon. Wah, 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 wah.
God, what if that's what John, like this whole time, that's all John is hearing because he's tripping hard. He's been digging into the ergot.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Wah, wah, wah.
I can only imagine. So John is sucked up into heaven, where the trumpet voices are, and he sees God on his throne, and God looks like Jasper and Carnelian. So God looks like a bunch of rocks.
Okay, so like I'm picturing the rock monster from like Neverending Story, basically.
Or like The Thing.
Yeah.
You know? I've seen many depictions of God. I've never seen the rock God version.
So the rainbow that looks like emerald is over the throne. Okay.
Which I don't get. Aren't emeralds green?
It's green, yeah. So just a green rainbow, just solid green. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I guess.
God, so stupid.
That's rough, but
it is. It's a bit much.
It's also true. Harsh but fair.
I appreciate the gay-friendly rainbow over the throne. Actually, it's kind of a nice touch.
Yeah, but it's all green, so that's how you know it's not gay-friendly. That's why we've been bamboozled by the 7-color rainbow.
Ugh, disgusting.
We need to go back to the Christian emerald rainbow. And so around this throne, we've got 24 other littler thrones. I assume they're littler. And we've got 24 dudes in white robes.
We're probably white dudes too, I'm sure.
Yeah, that.
Oh god. So no, they were wearing the white stainless garments. There's not
God.
A stain. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Not just white.
Yep. These elders are wearing your standard Heaven Edition crowns of gold. So just I would just assume the normal look.
Yeah, there's just some guy just pumping those out in the back.
Yep.
The tech crew in heaven must be working overtime. So we've got lots of thunder, lightning, and random voices coming out of the throne. Not out of God, but out of the throne. So we really need like the heavenly OSHA to go up here and
like check this out.
Yeah, we've got a throne making lightning and thunder noises. I don't think that's up to code. I think we're gonna get a citation.
Yep. 7 lamps representing the 7 spirits of God.
So wait, 7 spirits of God?
I know.
Like we had the Holy Ghost, we've got the tripartite God, so we've got 1, we've got 3. Where did the 7 come from?
I don't know. I didn't know. I was only told I was only taught that there was 1 like Holy Spirit. So I don't know. I mean, come on.
So these are like maybe like the 7 non-Holy Spirits.
Oh god, they're the unholy spirits.
Or maybe they're just like in the middle.
Yeah, they're just kind of like indifferent.
Yeah, the 7 indifferent spirits.
So in front of the throne is a sea of motherfucking glass or crystals. Oh boy,
that's pretty
dangerous. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm pretty into it. I got to admit. All right, so this is all fun. This is all interesting.
It is.
I can imagine John wanting to tell us about the throne and the elders. But it's only at this point that John mentions these 4 fucking terrifying creatures surrounding the throne. So let's get started with what these freaks look like. So there's one with the face of a lion, an ox, a human being.
And I'm picturing Jeff Goldblum, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Come on.
And then one with the face of an eagle. And they are covered front, back, and inside with eyes, and they have 6 wings.
So does the eagle have 8 wings? Is this?
Yeah, it doesn't get into that. I don't think so, because I think it just had the eagle face.
Oh, okay.
But either way, the eagle one must feel slighted.
Right.
Like I should get 8 wings. Got the eagle face.
So here's the annoying part. They constantly sing day and night the following. Holy, 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 the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. To make this even more annoying, every time these creatures sing this song, the 24 elders bow to God, cast off their thrones, and sing, "You are worthy, O Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power." For you created all things, and by your will they existed and were created. Let's release that. First single.
So you see all this singing and all this bowing. all this praising. You do your best in life to be a good Christian. You sacrifice your livelihood and life in the face of prosecution because of your faith in Jesus Christ, the one true God. And this is the gig you get in heaven. This is what it's all leading to.
Wow, can't wait. For that comforting time where the inward eyeball monsters start singing creepily at my face. Like, oh God.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
that's what it's all
I
about.
just got to get there and got to get to heaven.
So now it looks like the God made of rocks, by the way, has a scroll with 7 seals.
A strong angel lifting them heavenly weights. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starts yelling, "Who is worthy to open the book and to loose these seals up, bitch?"
He probably has to yell, though, because of all the singing and exaltation going on. It makes sense.
Yes.
And so after that angel yells across heaven, John gets real upset because it looks like nobody can open the seals. But I don't know why he's upset yet, because he doesn't know what's in the seal, like what's in the scroll. It could just be the manual for a 2005 Saturn Ion or something. He has no idea.
That's right.
But luckily, one of the elders, between his crown and bowing act, lets John know that the Lion of Judah can open the scrolls. And in a twist, the Lion of Judah is a lamb.
Oh, big reveal. The lamb is, quote, standing as if it's been slaughtered. I know I always make sure my lambs are standing up before murdering them. It just makes them taste better.
I always imagined standing and slaughtered, were mutually exclusive. And this lamb has, you guessed it, 7 horns and 7 eyes. At least he doesn't have the eyes on the inside to see his slaughtered guts. That would be rough.
Yep, that would be disgusting. So Jesus, the hideous beast, came over and grabbed the book out of the right hand of, quote, the one on the throne. And I kind of picture him yanking it out violently, all pissed off. Like, give me this, you
a real angry lamb.
I hate lambs that are angry.
So as soon as the lamb takes the scroll, the creatures and the elders get to take a break from their regular song and dance routine. The only problem, though, is that they now have a new song and dance routine. They
each have a harp and bowls of incense. Let's make it a little more difficult.
Yeah, I hope they're not juggling them. I hope we're not adding that to this routine.
That sounds super dangerous.
And if this wasn't loud enough, now we have thousands of angels singing the following. Worthy is the Lamb that was slaughtered to receive power and wealth and wisdom and might and honor and glory and blessing.
Dun dun. Yeah, you thought it could get any louder. 4 freakish creatures, 24 elders, and literally thousands of angels singing goofy songs. Think again. Now we need to bring in every creature and human being on earth, fuck me, to the one seated on the throne, and to the Lamb be blessed and honor and glory and might forever and ever.
That is great.
Times 7.
The greatest choir of all time. Every human being and creature and angel.
Everything.
On earth.
Everything.
Dude,
like
heaven.
bacteria?
Oh, God.
Like bacteria and like just worms.
Oh, yeah. You got to hear the slug tenor.
Yeah, everything.
So finally, after all this cacophony is over, the creatures say Amen, and the elders bow to worship, and we can only hope heaven is somewhat quiet for once. But as they say, this is just the calm before the storm, because this shit is about to get nuts.
Oh!
So now we got these seals. So the Lamb opens the first seal, and thunder rolls. And I also, by the way, when I imagine
Big deal.
the Lamb opening the seals, I imagine it's using its teeth, because that would be real cute.
I was actually picturing the hooves, just like, all right, just like kind of like I'm picturing actually the what was that puppet lamb? Lamb chop?
Yeah, the song that never ends.
It's like a huge, yes, that one.
Except it's the psalm. This is the psalm that never ends. Yeah, that was
yes.
Yeah, that one didn't. Yeah, that one didn't go into syndication. So the Lamb opens the first seal, and a white horse comes out with a dude riding on it with a bow.
He came out conquering to conquer. So he went out to conquer some shit randomly.
It's a little, this is too condensed for me. How did he conquer?
Yeah.
Was he a benevolent conqueror? What kind of infrastructure did he set up? I have so many questions just from this one sentence.
So this is the second seal, bright red horse again. This shit is pretty psychedelic. So a dude with a sword riding it that had the pleasant mission of taking peace from the earth so that everyone will kill each other.
Nice.
No. That's
I
nice.
wonder why
That's cute.
he had a sword. Did he need to use the sword to take peace from the earth? Because
I know.
like
I don't
his
know.
job is to get everybody to kill themselves. So the sword seems superfluous.
Right. It's kind of pointless.
Also, in my version, I don't know if it said this in the King James version, but in my version, it says he was permitted to do all this. So I imagine he could have just went down there and eaten a sandwich instead.
Yeah.
Union break. So the lamb opens the third seal, and we get a black horse, which is pretty badass.
Yeah.
And it comes out with a rider holding a pair of scales, which is not as badass, but kudos for impressive horsemanship.
Yeah, and apparently, I guess the scales represent justice, I guess?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It kind of seems sort of in conflict with the mission of the first few horse riders, though. I guess God's like trolling here or something.
No, that was all just. Or maybe he's repentant now and like, all right, we need some justice in here.
Right.
We've had a lot of just unmitigated murder and death and destruction. We need to, And so, but apparently, this is like the writer of post-war price fixing. So this writer's job is to decide how much stuff costs. Now, a day's pay, it gets you a quart of wheat or 3 quarts of barley, which is apparently expensive. I have no context. They don't price barley and wheat in days' pay at the Whole Foods. So I'm not sure. But, God has a soft side here because the wine and olive oil, that's unaffected. That's pre-war pricing, so it's party time. And this is just the nerdiest writer in the whole thing. I mean, he's basically just like a government bureaucrat. Like, I imagine him, he'd fit in Michigan where they have like minimum alcohol price laws. And he would just be the one like, hey, what are you charging for your barley?
Like, oh God, not that horseman.
He's always writing citations. A lot of citations.
Just more annoying, really.
Yeah.
So the fourth seal, pale green horse, and it was death, and hell followed him. Yeah. Sort of like an evil parade. No.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. What was his mission? You guessed it. To kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
That sounds
pretty,
real cool.
Pretty redundant, actually. I'm pretty sure I've heard that already.
Yeah, like, how hard does he have to work? The first writer already conquered everything. The second writer got all the people to kill each other, so how much work is there left for the fourth writer to do?
I'm pretty sure after this, the first few horses and the useless troll horse were pretty good on the death here.
Yeah.
I guess this guy, I'm just picturing this guy going around stabbing already dead bodies, basically. Typical Jesus shit. More heavenly government waste.
# drain the apocalypse.
Big government.
And he only gets authority over the quarter of the earth. So he can't get too crazy. He just gets one little patch. And I just imagine people are trying to cross that border, and like he's just getting mad because everybody's robbing. It's like back in the day when you could rob a bank and then cross the county line, and then you can't get arrested. I imagine the fourth writer is dealing with that every single day.
Yeah, it's so annoying. He could kill. He could kill with the sword, famine, and pestilence, and by the wild animals of the earth. So that's nice.
Yeah, I just imagine, like, he's got the dogs, he's got tigers, he's got bears, he's probably got sloths, he's got emu, just ready to kill. But the humans have already killed themselves, and so all these animals are just bored. And then the writer's got to be super bummed out. He's got this cool sword, he's got all of Hades with him, but everyone's already dead.
Yeah, it's like embarrassing. Like, oh, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I know hell's behind me, but hang on, guys. The fifth seal opens and John is tripping balls when he sees under the altar all the dead people who have been killed so far for being good Christians.
I hope they didn't buy any of that expensive wheat or barley right before they were killed. I saved up 3 days' wages because I wanted to make, a cake for my wedding, and then you get killed, and then you're in heaven. And so all these folks, all these dead folks, they're raring to be judged, because they know they're going to get the goods. They're like the nerdy kid in class who he's really excited to get his report card because he knows it's all A's.
Yeah. In verse 11, God gives them stainless white robes. Again, right?
Yeah, again. And God tells them to chill out.
Just chillax.
Yeah. And, he says that, they have to wait for their fellow servants and brothers and sisters to be killed. People are still, this is active. It hasn't ended yet. They're just being impatient. And it's kind of like heaven is like some restaurants, they won't seat you until your entire party is there.
Yes.
And so basically that's what this is. It's like, Christians, party of 1 million. It's like, oh, sorry, there's only 800,000 of you. You're going to have to wait.
Yes.
The Nicolaitans are probably getting in there before they are.
Assholes.
That's the sad part. So now we got the 6th seal, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. So we've got an earthquake, the sun turns black, the full moon turns blood red, and stars fall from the sky.
Oh, God. This is what I like to say is impossible, though, since stars are bigger than the Earth, right? Or do I know science? Pretty sure that's right.
Maybe they didn't hit the Earth. I mean, it just says they fell from the sky, so maybe
that's true.
Like from the perspective, I'm trying to give John the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm
take this whole thing very literally. Yes. So a fig tree casteth her ultimate. What? Sorry.
I think untimely?
Scratch it. Yes. A fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So that's some powerful imagery. Figs falling from a tree, dear God, no.
God, nothing. Not that. First they came for the figs and I did nothing. For I was not a fig. And then they came for the oranges. And no one was there to help me. And so then the sky just disappears. Which I don't know what that looks like. Is it just black?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Mountains and islands are removed. So not really that's not really how geology works, I guess, but we'll set that aside, literally, or let that slide.
I get it.
Oopsie. Boy, oh boy. I've spent hours on that joke.
Too many hours. So, everybody's terrified, of course. And so they hide amongst the rocks. But they're privy that this upstairs lamb is what's doing all this shit. And so they start talking to the floating rocks, asking them to hide them from heaven. Which, first of all, why are you talking to the rocks? The rocks aren't doing this. And, do you think... Yeah. I think they imagine, the rocks are alive, doing this out of their own free
well, I mean,
will.
God is made of rocks, right? I guess God is made of rocks, so...
Oh, that's it. You just solved this interpretive problem.
Yep, shut it down. We're done. Again, not really how geology works. That's strike 2, but whatever. We'll just keep going. Just keep on moving.
Yeah, we're just going to have to ignore tectonic plates and all that kind of stuff for the remainder of Revelation.
Right.
And so, but, also after seeing all this crazy shit goes down, do you think God is going to be thwarted by hiding under a rock? Is that the solution here?
Apparently, yeah.
The sun is, the moon is blood red. The sun is black.
Right.
And then God's like, hey, where's Chris?
Yeah.
And Chris is just
It's like
hiding.
getting under the desk during, in the 50s.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder if there were drills back in the day.
Get under the floating rocks.
Yeah. All right, so now we get a bit of an intermission before the 7th seal is opened because God knows tension.
So 4 angels at the 4 corners of the earth. Hold back the winds, so no wind. That would seem bad only if the earth didn't have stars falling on it, though, I guess. And no sunlight, since the sun is now black. Also, I wasn't aware that the earth only had 4 winds. So that's it. Strike 3, you're out. Bible, shut it down.
Yeah, that's it. Just 4.
4 winds.
Yeah, my flesh has been burned off. My children have been murdered in front of me. I can't buy any wheat because I've been unemployed for 6 months. Oh, and now the wind. I can't go sailing. And then in the midst of all this, an angel, presumably from HR, descends from the rising sun and tells them that they have to wait until all the good Christians are marked with a seal on their forehead. 144,000 in total are sealed. We get 12,000 from each tribe of Israel. Judah, Reuben, which is where the sandwich comes from, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin.
Of course, all Jews, always running the world with their sealed ass foreheads.
Illuminati confirmed. But 2 tribes are missing, Dan and Ephraim. So God needs a new HR guy.
John says he saw a great multitude and that no one could measure. Settle down, John. We know you're really just high.
Yeah.
It's extremely high right here, actually, probably.
Yeah, I mean, he just said 144,000.
Yeah.
He just forgot the number he just gave you. So, I'm reading all this. Folks getting seals on their foreheads. Seems pretty calm. I'm really enjoying... There's a new quiet in heaven. You know, there was all this singing earlier, and exaltation and prayer.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, you know, it'll... Oh, never mind. It's going to get loud again.
Yep, a bunch of angels and men and beasts bowing down and worshiping God. Oh God, you're the greatest, oh the most tremendous of all time, the greatest of the greatest, with the best robes and eyes and horns and mouth swords, just tremendous.
God, that sounds familiar.
I don't know.
I feel like I've heard talk like that.
Yeah. Just presidential.
Yeah, I might be making that up.
Yep.
So then one of these elders decides to ask John, who are all these jabronis? And John is like, well, I don't know. You're the elder. You've got the throne. You tell me.
Yeah. Nope. He's just trolling. He actually knows the answer to that question.
God, what a troll.
These are motherfuckers who went through some shit and have washed their robes white with the blood of the lamb. Because, you know, the lamb's blood is always, they're always white. Usually, most blood's white, actually.
Yeah. They probably threw a little bleach in there, you know? Yeah. So then it's red, but it actually is deceptively cleaning.
So the chapter ends with the perks of heaven. You get a white robe, you get to eat some food finally and drink some living water with electrolytes, hopefully. You don't have to worry about the sun lighting on you, dear God. That's horrible.
Finally.
Yes, I hate the sun lighting on me. And God will wipe away the tears, since I guess people cry in heaven, I don't know.
Yeah, so the multitudes won't be hungry anymore, but they do have to praise God 24/7. Yeah, so there's always a trade-off. All right, now we've got the seventh seal, and it starts with a half an hour of silence. Finally.
Oh, that's nice. It's like, yeah, the moment of silence there. Yeah, I didn't know there was time in heaven per se, so I guess we'll just ignore that.
Yeah, I imagine just you look at your watch and it just, like the arms of the watch. What are they? They're not arms. Are they arms? What are they called?
I think they're arms. Yeah. Hands? No, hands.
Hands.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Lampstands,
watches.
I have been cursed by the era of digital clocks. I can't even talk about the thing on my wall that I'm looking at. But now, you know, you guessed it, there's 7 angels with 7 trumpets.
Oh boy.
Because heaven isn't loud enough. You can't just have a voice like a trumpet, you also have to have an actual trumpet.
Bunch of ska going on. It's weird. Like a boss tones.
Skanking with Jesus.
It's weird John is obsessed with counting everything. So when I did shrooms, I guess, I saw hideous horned beasts with human faces covered in eyeballs singing songs out in the woods at my friend's house, but I never obsessively counted anything. Like I wasn't like, oh man, there are 7 tentacles spiraling out of that random oak tree with the face over there. I mean, I never kept track, but
you've had some pretty terrifying trips.
Yes. You never had the tentacle tree trip?
I've never had the tentacle tree trip. The last time I remember we were in a cabin in the woods, and I felt like we were on a boat, and I also distinctively remember believing that Rush was the greatest band of all time. Those are the 2 memories I have of the last time I engaged in that kind of behavior.
Halted. Yeah. And?
So we got another angel with a golden censer, which is that thing that they have that, you know, gives you the incense.
Right.
And it starts out nice. He's got the incense for all the prayers of the saints, which is really lovely.
That's good.
But then he uses fire from the altar and throws it at the earth. God, oh no.
Earth is just barely hanging on.
Like imagine you survive everything and all of a sudden some jerk from the sky throws fire on your head. And we get more thunder, lightning, and earthquakes, just as if Earth hasn't had it bad enough.
Yep, and the angel starts the trumpet routine. So here we go.
Whew, I hope you're ready for these trumpets. So with the first trumpet, we get hail and fire mixed with blood raining on the earth.
Just a pinch of blood.
Just a pinch.
The little paprika. So it's just jacket weather.
Yeah. Not more than a heavy coat. I wonder, is the blood mixed... In my version, it wasn't clear. Is the blood mixed with the hail, or is the blood mixed with the fire?
It
Or
seems impossible.
is the hail and the fire mixed together, and then we're throwing in blood?
Oh, man.
I want to know the proportions.
Yeah,
I want to know who's
never seen
mixing up all these ingredients.
hail on fire. That's something to behold.
It's terrible. That's a good band name.
Yeah.
I know there's high on fire, but hail on fire. I think it's different. It would be like the Christian version of High on Fire.
Yes.
Like a Christian cover band.
That only does that, but changes it to like Christian lyrics or something.
But also, like, how long does blood last when you mix it with fire? I can't imagine it lasting very long.
Nope. So the third of the earth is burned up, the third of the trees, all of the grass. I mean, minus like the golf courses of Trump, but he's tight with God, as we all know.
Oh, yeah, they have a deal that hasn't come out yet in the special investigation.
Yeah, but that's coming. That's going to be the end of the investigation. And
I could just see the New York Times cover. Mueller subpoenas Jesus?
Question mark?
Is it Mueller? Mueller?
I would go with Mueller. Mueller.
Oh God,
Mueller. That's a good question.
Mueller.
Okay. Molar, like a molar, like a tooth.
Yeah. So we're cutting this out so we don't look dumb.
Yep. Yes, good call.
So we got all these thirds going around. I want to know if they like overlap. So do they overlap with? So Death got a quarter. Mm-hmm. Like, do these new like thirds of the Earth like overlap? Or are they like totally different thirds? I would be pissed off if it overlapped.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
Right.
Death already has it hard enough. He's trying to get some of his own destruction. He's trying to do his own thing, not rely on the destruction of his two previous riders, or three, I suppose. And now he has to compete with bloody fire and ice.
Jesus. Oh God, worst.
And also, it talks about. So we're burning up trees. Got it. We're burning up grass.
Oh yeah.
Also.
Oh yeah.
But we're also burning up earth.
Mm.
So is that like dirt
soil?
and gravel?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Soil's
the soil,
getting...
the caliche. What are we talking? The caliche burned. So not too bad though. Pretty sure falling stars would have really taken them out already. Don't you think?
Yeah, God, he's got Death's got enough problems. He's probably not too worried about this third getting into his territory.
Exactly. Second trumpet, a random mountain on fire was cast into the sea. So, okay. But the third part of the sea did become blood. No comment there.
Yeah, I've got a comment. I want to know how that works. When it talks, so I imagine, I wonder how broad or deep the third is. So is it just like a third of the surface and then it gets everything underneath? Or could it just be over the Marianas Trench and it just goes all the way down? And so it's like a foot diameter tube, but it goes all the way down. I don't know.
Yeah, a third of all sea creatures died that weren't already dead before, so more thirds.
Yeah, more thirds, and I wonder which sea creatures.
Yeah.
I imagine if he was being a real dick, he could have just killed all the krill and plankton, for example. And then because of the food chain, everybody else dies.
He trickles down.
Yeah, he gets the rest for free. Which, I mean, it's kind of a dick move. It's kind of cheating at that point.
Yeah,
so
I
want to know. I want to know there's a lot of distribution questions I have when I look at the Book of Revelations. I want to know.
Yeah. Yes. A third part of the ships were destroyed. There's still ships, apparently. I guess people still doing there's trading. There's fishing going on still. Why would you be fishing in a sea of blood?
I mean, that's a pretty good gimmick, though.
It is.
Cruise on a sea of blood.
Yep. It's proportional destruction.
Yeah. Just a third.
So just so you think that, just so you won't have to think that God is 100% a psychopath. He's just 33.3333% psychopath.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. I mean, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
And I wonder again, the county line thing. I imagine you're in a ship and just the borders have come down and you're just, it's like Dukes of Hazzard, trying to get over that county line to avoid all the destruction.
Yep.
So we've got the third trumpet and we've got another star. Let's do it again. We've got another star.
Let's do it again.
This time falling on the earth like a lamp. Okay. But it
very quaint destruction.
Yeah, and it lands on a third of the rivers and springs, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. Where the hell did this thing land?
I don't know.
Did it break up and then little bits in each of a third of the rivers and lakes? I don't know. And the star was called Wormwood, which is, I'm pretty sure, what they make absinthe out of.
It's also, it's the name of a good Netflix show, documentary series, Errol Morris, by the way. Just a little plug there. And
plug.
For no money. For no money. Smart.
Which we are willing to do, wink, wink, wink.
Yes. So the Wormwood star turned those rivers and springs into wormwood, and people died from the bitterness. It's like, disgusting. And death.
But the rest are having a good time, tripping the light fantastic, drinking that absinthe. Getting real Vincent van Gogh up in there. Honestly, this whole seal is kind of a ripoff of the Flaming Mountain, if you ask me.
Yeah,
you get a big thing falling to earth that's turning stuff into other stuff. We've heard it. Give us something fresh.
Well, let's see if this is fresh. Fourth trumpet. Third of the sun was smitten. One of those third-ass exploding stars, I guess? I don't know. And the moon wasn't already blood red. I don't know, but now it's black. And the stars. So like all the stars in the entire universe, what's the point? We won't even notice these things going out for a while. So they're so far from us. Or maybe the third star's closest to us. Yeah. And a third of the day, there you go. And a third of the day and night is struck. The night was darkened, I guess? I don't know. So it's just normal, basically? Just like just a normal night sky.
Because, doesn't it just even out?
Yeah.
So, if you cut out, so I'm imagining it's only a 16-hour day now. So you get a third of the night and a third of the day.
Right.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all, actually.
I mean, although, it's like, if I just had another hour in the day. Well, now you only get 16. So after the fourth trumpet, an eagle or flying angel or whatever, it cries, loudly of course, about how shitty the next three trumpets will be. Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound.
Okay.
Yeah, John ain't too subtle about the foreshadowing.
So, fifth trumpet, and another star falls to earth, which literally makes no sense.
Psych, it's actually an angel.
Yep, the star angel gets a key to the bottomless pit. I'll just have to assume that this angel has a giant key ring with many keys to other bottomless things, like staircases, castles, nachos.
I do like the idea.
Nachos.
Oh.
Bottomless nachos, like at Fridays.
I didn't until you spelled it out for me. I do like the idea of a star working a key. I mean, if God has already made rocks, that does make more sense. And so he's got the key to the bottomless pit, and what does this asshole do? He opens the shaft to the bottomless pit.
Son of a bitch.
Gee, thanks.
So smoke like a furnace starts rising out of this bottomless pit. So clearly the smoke originated somewhere inside of the pit on the sides, so there's no bottom. Since it certainly didn't come from the bottom, right? I mean, come on. Unless it's a smoke, some sort of smoke originating from the bottomlessness, only which, of course, would make sense. I don't know what's happening. I assume the smoke probably smells like a hickory. It's probably like a very barbecue, delicious smell coming out of it. It's like,
welcome to the devil's barbecue. It's kind of this. It's like Zeno's paradox, but for the bottomless pit.
Right. Yes.
Like, well, if it has to travel an infinite amount of shaft, first it's got to do half, and then it's got to do 3/4.
Yeah.
God. So the smoke is so intense that the sun and the air were darkened, which can't be that big of a deal since the third of the sun was already blocked off and really shouldn't be there anyway. Also, I don't think the sky's there at all anymore.
Right. No, I'm pretty sure that's gone.
But it's darkened nonetheless.
Yep. So then locusts come out of this bottomless pit and are given the same authority as scorpions on the earth. Okay.
Yeah, scorpions. They got a lot of authority.
Yeah. We can pretty much just smash them, really. I mean, you don't have to do too much. Or put out little sticky pads or something. You can catch them. It's not that big a deal. It's really more of just like a mild inconvenience, I would say.
Yeah, I don't get the authority angle. Like, are we supposed to just let them sting us? Has that been the deal this whole time and no one just told me?
Yeah, okay, so the locust can't hurt the grass of the earth. Oh, dear God, this precious grass.
No, not the grass.
Yeah, not the grass. Or any green thing or tree. He usually only cares about like 2/3 of the trees and other greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
He's being nice this time. All of them.
Yes.
Or none of them, I guess.
Yeah, grass is actually pretty bad for the environment. I don't know why I'm saying that, so we'll cut that out.
But I love, so the locusts, they can't touch the trees or the greens or anything like that, but they can
Right.
only go after the folks who don't have seals on their forehead. But you don't have to tell them there's barely any trees left and there's no grass left anyway. So of course they're going to fuck with people.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
People, it's just like people in ships going around.
They have to go to the ships. Those are the only people left. They got to swim. And they torture people for 5 months. But it's only as painful as a scorpion sting. And so I don't mean to victim blame here, but torture, I think it's a little rough. I've never been stung by a scorpion. I've had plenty of ant bites.
Yeah.
I'm not calling that torture.
I've been stung by a wasp and it hurt like a bitch and I was a child, but it didn't. I wouldn't say it was torture.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, I remember seeing my little brother getting stung violently by like a million wasps when he was swinging. He was on the swing set, and they had like their nest inside the swing set. And I just see my mom bolting out the door, running after. My brother's like, "Ah!" But still probably would be described as torture. It's just like, okay, that's a couple bites and it hurts, so didn't have to go to the hospital.
A bit hyperbolic, I must say, John.
Just a bit, John. Come on. So, yeah, I can imagine it's a bit annoying. It's not that bad in context. And there's a lot of other worse things, I'm sure, like bites of animals and other things. But little stings, come on.
Yeah.
5 months.
And also, it says that these folks, they wanted to die after getting, bit by these scorpions or locusts or whatever. Do locusts bite? I guess that's their thing.
I guess.
But they want to die, but they can't. They're not allowed to die. And again, I call wuss. I think these people, especially with everything else they've gone through, they can handle a little locust action.
Yeah, they're just, everyone in the tribulation is like a giant pussy. Like, come on. Like this is, I mean, they have stars falling on their faces and and everything's covered in blood and it's just like, no sun, everything. And then they're just like, ow, a sting. Come on.
Yeah, but in all fairness, we've been talking about locusts and it says locusts. And so, what do you imagine? So I imagine, little flying bugs eating crops.
Yeah, loud. Yeah.
Loud. Of course they're loud.
Right. So fit right in.
Yeah,
this
but
narrative.
That's not exactly what these locusts are. They're a little different. Let's see if you could spot the differences. So, right off the bat, they look like horses equipped for battle. So, already a little different. They have golden crowns on their heads, which are human, by the way.
Yeah, I'm picturing this time Gilbert Gottfried's face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. They have hair like a woman's, and their teeth are like a lion's. They have scales like iron breastplates, and they have scorpion tails.
So a butterface.
And the noise... Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sorry. Oh, boy.
And the noise of their wings... Oh, yeah, because of course they have wings. Right. They sounded like many chariots rushing into battle. Because of course they are fucking loud. What else did you expect?
Exactly. So let me get this straight. An angel has a key that he uses to open a bottomless pit, and out of this bottomless pit rises smoke that bursts locusts, scorpion, horses with lion teeth, wings that sound like even more horses, running with chariots attached to them, with faces of Gilbert Gottfried, wearing breastplates of iron, who, if you happen to meet this monstrosity, will sting you, give you a prick, just a tiny little prick that lasts for about 5 months. So that's about sums it up, I think.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think you got it. Spot on.
Good. I can picture that.
And these locusts have a boss,
Yes.
This isn't, we're not anarchists here. We need authority. We need hierarchy. They have a boss.
Yes.
And it's the angel that's in charge of the bottomless pit. Abaddon in Hebrew, or Apollyon in Greek. And I'm glad we can get the translation here. That's really helpful.
I'm totally naming my dog that, especially if he looks like Gilbert Gottfried and has lion teeth and wings.
Oh man, that's a special shelter you got to go to. I mean, they're doing all things with how they breed these dogs, so I can imagine that's down the pipe.
Yep.
So now we got the sixth trumpet, the second woe.
Whoa.
And so suddenly that altar that we've been talking about has horns that can talk. Because we need more volume in heaven. We need it to be louder.
Yeah.
And the horns tell the trumpeter to loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. It's like some weird Rube Goldberg machine. We got a trumpeter, he wakes up the horns tell the trumpeter to release the angels. Why do we need this middleman?
Yeah,
or
seriously.
I guess middle horn?
Middle horn.
At this point?
Yes. So who's the voice in the golden altar? I'm going to say Philip Jeffries, but that's the Twin Peaks reference that no one knows probably. Okay, so the angels were held ready for the hour, the day, the month, and the year.
Which I don't know what that means. Like, so...
No, I don't either. I said it with such confidence.
Yeah, I wondered, so did
no clue.
each angel did like, all right, you get the hour, you get the day, you get the month.
And you get a year, and you get a month.
Yeah, so God is Oprah in this scenario.
Right.
Or is that the name for one date that they all have to... So like the first day or the first month or whatever. But if that's right, then like why did the horn have to say anything? They were already prepared. Like we've already got it on our... It's already on our Google Calendar.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a Google Calendar. It doesn't matter. It's already on our day planner. I'm going to go old school here. Like, so we don't need this horn in heaven telling us what to do.
Yeah, seriously.
More big government.
Yep. I'm anti-horn.
Yeah, me too. Down with horns.
200 million strong cavalry. I heard the number.
Yeah, John is letting us know he's not just pulling this number out of his ass or guessing. He heard it. But I want to know from who. Like, is it one of the freaks? I don't know if they're on the level. I don't know if they fully understand what's going on at this point. They're full of eyes. Maybe they can see a bunch.
Right, but they're probably confused. They can't process all this visual information. Just like, God.
It's terrible.
That's utterly confused beasts.
And so we're talking about cavalry. I bet you thought these were regular horses. Actually, at this point, you probably don't think that. Because there's always a twist.
Yes.
But if you did think that, you would be wrong.
Yep. So the riders' breastplates were the color of fire, sapphire, and sulfur.
Ooh.
Yeah, nice mixture. Yeah. But of course, the horses didn't have horse heads. Come on, guys, please. They had heads of lions. These lions... Oops, sorry, I got confused. These horses with lion heads also had tails like serpents. What? Yeah, tails like serpents. So like what? Like a... I don't know. What am I picturing? A rattlesnake or something? Yeah, fire like dragon smoke. Yeah, fire like dragon smoke and sulfur came out of their mouths. Ugh, so it stinks. It's this mouth excrement that kills a third of humanity.
And so if they could just spit out this stuff to kill a third of humanity, these horses don't need riders at all. It seems like a waste of manpower.
True. Really?
There's so much for them to be doing. They could be praising God 24/7 like everyone else seems to be doing. It just seems like a waste of their talents.
Yes. God really likes destroying all of his creation in thirds, It's like proportionality, I guess. In all things, moderation.
Even moderation.
Mm-hmm. So there are so many thirds of men, because in verse 20, there are still some unkilled men left, and they decided this shit is fucked up.
Yeah, these people, they were worshiping idols, they were having sex with everybody, while killing and stealing from each other. So at some point when the horse scorpion things are stinging you, and then the lion-headed horses are creating an EPA nightmare, I think you ought to repent at that point. I think the evidence is in.
Yep.
That we should probably pay attention to this Bible everybody's been talking about.
The most outlandish thing of all this is that there will be an EPA, actually, but in the future. But that's fine. Little Scott Pruitt joke.
This is all an allegory about the destruction of the EPA.
From within. So I like, but my favorite though is I like how there's skeptics that are still following other gods at this point. It's like, what is happening? Like, please, guys.
I just imagine YouTube still exists and there's Richard Dawkins in a bunker somewhere, telling us not to repent.
Yeah, just award-winning skeptics, just masters of just come on, guys. I think it's time to go ahead and call it. Let's call this. We were wrong.
Somewhere between the second and fourth month of the locust torture is when I think I would make the transition. Maybe I should go back to church at that point.
Right.
So in the midst of all this, a mighty angel comes down. By the way, I hope you've been keeping track of all these angels. There's gonna be a test.
Rainbow on his head, wrapped in a cloud. So that sounds fabulous.
Woo!
Face like the sun. Jesus. Legs like pillars of fire. A little scroll in a hand. Yeah, he's got a little scroll.
Yeah, nice little soul.
Little dainty, little dainty scroll. He daintily set his right foot, which was a pillar of fire, on the sea. just dipping his toe in to see if it's a little too hot.
Which it probably isn't. It's a pillar of fire.
Come on, your toe is on fire. His left foot went on the earth. Jesus is like, this angel's just like massive, clearly.
Or John just has really inaccurate maps.
He's really bad at measuring.
Yeah, he just thinks it's basically just one half earth and one half water. And then it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And so this angel shouted, of course.
Right.
And sounded you guessed it, the 7 thunders. And apparently John could understand what these 7 thunders were talking about, which is cool because when it thunders,
he's a thunder whisperer.
The thunder whisperer. But a voice.
Actually, the name. Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say that the name of the second Left Behind movie, not Left Behind, the 70s movies is called Distant Thunder. Ooh. So it's like a thief in the night, distant thunder, and then soon, spoiler alert, image of the beast. Ooh. And actually, no, there's a 4th one. There's a Prodigal Planet. So that's kind of just tacked on there.
Because isn't the first one just a dream? The thief in the night?
No, I think it's actually just like the rapture or whatever. So like some people disappear. Oh, okay. I don't think it was a dream. I don't know, but maybe. I haven't seen it for a while. We should watch that.
Yeah, we definitely should watch it. Because I thought the first one was like a dream of the rapture, and she wakes up and like, oh, it was a dream. But then the rapture actually happened while she was asleep.
That's right. Yep. Okay. Oh, boy. Yep. Whew.
So these 7 thunders are talking. John is digging it. But then a voice from above tells him, don't write it down, because there's a spoiler alert in there.
So we got some redaction going on. So like John is apparently like withholding information from us, which is dick move. It's only the end of the fucking world, John. Thanks for that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna name my next band the 7 Thunder Secrets. I like that a little bit better than Satanic Synagogue. Whatever the other one.
No. So this giant angel lifts his hand to heaven. He swears by pretty much everything ever that there should be time no longer. Yet the book continues, so I don't know.
Anyway, going forward, the voice from heaven speaks to John again. The voice says, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. He's probably well past the stage of shrooms here, so he's seeing trails and stuff, that kind of thing.
Oh, man.
Not talking from experience, but yeah.
Yeah, this is when you're at this point, when you've taken any kind of hallucinogen, don't ingest anything that a stranger gives to you.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is. And so John is told to eat the scroll. And he's told the scroll will be bitter in his stomach, but sweet as honey in his mouth. Huh. So this is some like Matrix type shit. Like, blue pill, red pill.
Totally.
Yeah.
So John did that right there. Took that little book and he ate the shit, and sure enough, it tasted so yummy, but his little belly hurt.
Oh,
so that sucks.
Poor
guy.
Johnny.
Johnny boy.
And the angel says to John, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So John's lunch break is over. And so now John gets some work to do. The angel gives him a measuring rod to measure the altar and temple. It's not clear at all how they didn't know this before they built the temple.
Just kind of winged it. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they're keeping John busy.
Yeah, God's doing some renovations apparently. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. No need to measure the courtyard outside the temple because the nations are going to trample all over that for the next 42 months.
Oh God.
What the hell? That shit was for the non-Jews? I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because all the Jews are in heaven.
Right. Good point.
Of course. Yeah. And so there's going to be 2 witnesses who will prophesy for 1,260 days or 42 months. I hope that conversion helped you. It sure helped me.
Yeah.
And they're going to be wearing... Yeah, exact.
This is after time... Wait, was this after time ended, or...
Okay. Yes. This is
post... got it.
We're on post-time now. Everyone's got to get new watches. And so these witnesses, they're going to be wearing sackcloths. So, like, everyone gets, like, these sick white robes. And these poor schmucks just get sackcloth.
So hipster.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We liked New Jerusalem before everyone else got here. Oh, Lord. What a bunch of schmucks.
These fuckers are the 2 olive trees and the candlesticks standing before the God of the earth.
Well, at least they're candlesticks. The olive trees. I don't know why there would be olive trees anymore, because back, like way back in this episode, the price fixing didn't affect them. So I imagine everybody would be going for the olive trees. And so although they only have the sackcloth, they do get a bunch of kick-ass powers. They can stop rain.
Damn.
They can make it rain blood. Again, this is standard, stuff.
But they can't stop the bloody rain. I'm sure.
Oh, maybe they can't. They can just start it.
Stop rain. Yep.
Yeah. And they can send down plagues willy-nilly. And so I imagine if they stop it raining, and everyone's like, please, we need rain. And they're like, all right, I'll make it rain. And then they start the rain, but it's actually blood.
Oh, boy.
Fuck those people. Right?
Yep. Oh, God. Oh, wow. At the 42 months, the beast comes from the bottomless pit, spoiler, and kills these two assholes, finally. Yeah, these two witnesses have an expiration date.
And so they lie dead in the street for 3.5 days because they're being such shitheads. Stopping rain, making it rain blood. Of course no one's going to bury them.
Yeah, that can't be the same as Jesus, obviously.
And does this
3.5 days, not 3 days.
Yeah, because Jesus was only 3. Does this make Jesus better? Of course it does. He recovered more quickly.
That's right. It's also very unsanitary, but whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty
who cares
gross.
about sanitation? At this point, I mean, when your stars are falling,
Yeah, I mean, there's no EPA anymore. OSHA's obviously been
they're working on the throne up there, the weird thunder throne.
Yeah, there's a lot of government work not being done.
Yeah, people are so happy. Yes. They're happy about this, by the way. So it's like, oh, okay, good. These two assholes are dead. I mean, you got to look on the bright side, right? Yeah. Look past the locust, scorpion, horseman face, lion tooth, stings, and stars falling, and blood oceans, and no sun, or bloody moon, and plagues. Yeah, these fuckers die. That's good. So they throw parties and sing gifts to each other. This becomes sort of like a holiday. Why? I mean, there's still holidays, so that's good.
I mean, we do have Good Friday, but you know what's coming afterward.
Yeah, right.
So that's why it's so good. And then in Volsami mode, these two assholes come back to life and ascend to heaven.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, why not? So that's that just happened. The Spirit of God. I'll assume one of the 7 of spirits, of course.
Yeah,
this
is the Holy
learning
Spirit.
that earlier. Yeah. He
Yeah.
entered into the rotten, bloated corpse of these two witnesses, and they stood up, and everyone that saw them kind of freaked out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair though.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
pretty
that makes
scary.
sense. Yeah, I would freak out myself.
Also, like if I'm celebrating someone's death,
Yeah,
right in front of their corpse, and they come back to life,
they win.
yeah, I'm gonna be a little.
They automatically
do
win that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's nothing I could say. You were right.
Yep.
Lewis agrees.
Yep.
Hey, Lewis, want to be on a podcast?
Sure.
He does. Oh, buddy. So obviously, while all this is going on, there's an earthquake, and we're changing it up now. Only a tenth
Oh boy.
of that city fell. And again, I don't know. Was it just like one little part? Was it distributed? Like every 10th house fell? Who knows?
Who knows? 7,000 died in an earthquake, so that's not really that bad. I mean, you compare that to like history's and earthquakes killing humans. Like the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake it killed like 280,000 people. It's like 40 times less than the earthquake. It's so terribly high ranking in the casualty tolls via earthquakes.
So
whatever.
I know you're technically right,
Is that right?
but
Yeah,
it's
it is
also
right.
it's also
Fact
just
check.
like 7,000 died, so not a big deal. Like it's just you really quickly.
Right.
You just went with that utilitarian calculus, which I really appreciate. You're a man of principle. But also, this just shows God isn't that mean.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy at heart. Just 7,000.
Yep. Those that remained gave glory to the one who literally caused the earthquake. So,
I mean,
that's
but
God.
it seems that that's the best method for not getting earthquaked. That seems to
Yeah,
be...
that's true.
If you want to avoid the earthquakes, you gotta
Right.
get to the praising.
Yep. 7th trumpet time, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we finally made it. So what do we
All
get?
right.
We get more loud prayer, of course. Some great voices in heaven start saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and the ark of his covenant was seen within his temple, and there were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and heavy hail.
But not bloody hail, so not too bad.
No, not too bad at all.
Yeah, not bad. Again, that's just standard apocalypse, really.
Yeah, we've seen all this before.
Yeah.
So
we're back to the... Yes, we are back to the 24 elders in verse 16. They, like clockwork, fall on their faces, yet again, before God, worshiping the dear leader. So they continue that nations were angry. God is pissed off. It's time for the dead to be judged. And for fuck's sake, give rewards to saints and prophets and ass kickers alike. Mwah.
And what rewards are those going to be? Who's going to be judged? What about the beast? What about the whore of Babylon? If you want to find out that and more, tune in next week to the second part of the book of Revelations.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Satanic synagogue.